Fanatically Correct. Brought to you by us, fans like you, but mostly us.
In a dark corner of the world, three men will work together to bring you a podcast like no other. This is Fanatically Correct, where the fans, the geeks, and the nerds are always correct. With your host, MSK, Yo Peace, and Omega.
So, hey, I don't know how well you hear us, and then we got the video camera going over there. I'm Omega with Fanatically Correct. I have two wonderful guests with me today at SuperCon 2024. Of course, good friend of ours, Jake James Lugo.
Yo, what's going on?
And say your name for us.
Starkey J, happy to be here.
Love it. She always starts with that. So we're going to keep it nice, short, and quick because she's here doing appearances, of course. And if you haven't gotten here yet, come on out today. Come on out tomorrow. She has a few meetups tomorrow for DC, as well as she's judging the talent contest tomorrow night. So it's a good SuperCon 2024. Going to start it nice, quick, and simple. I'm going to start with The Crow. I know what everybody else wants us to talk about at the gate, but we're going to start with The Crow because we're both very big Crow fans. That's why I got you the little Lego minifigure, The Crow.
Yeah, thank you for that.
How are you on a fan of The Crow, the original?
The original Brandon Lee one? Yeah, that's a classic.
Fantastic classic film based on the trailer. So everyone's going based on the trailer, what they've seen.
Trailer, yeah.
I personally went in before the trailer's release thinking it was going to be complete crap. So I saw the casting of Bill Skarsgård. I felt a little bit more comfortable.
Okay.
Now, you have had a very different opinion based on the trailer of what you saw.
So I actually felt better about the movie before I saw the trailer.
Opposite.
Because I think Bill Skarsgård is phenomenal. He's an incredibly talented guy.
Yeah.
And as somebody who knows both the original like Brandon Lee and the comics, I thought, okay, they're going to take Bill Skarsgård, and Bill Skarsgård can do a way truer to the comics version of The Crow. And that is not what they're doing. They want to do Brandon Lee's story specifically for a modern audience. So despite the fact that Bill Skarsgård is amazing, this looks like hot garbage. Just my opinion.
So a little bit of devil's advocate, where I felt, and I get that, and I'm personally a proprietor that always is. I always understand when fans have gripes. There's content that I personally see that other people like, and I don't because of certain details as a fan of the original content, like a comic book or a novel or what it may be. I never read the comic books. I was only introduced to The Crow through Brandon Lee. That's it. The show wasn't too bad. The two movies that came after should have never been made.
Those are direct to DVD.
To use Snarky J's terminology, dog shit.
Yeah.
The only thing I felt was hoping, and that's the only thing because I'm basing it more on on the action and to see where the storyline goes, is the original Crow film. Brandon Lee's a martial artist. And even though they didn't really highlight that the character was a martial artist, they made it pretty obvious that he was someone that did do martial arts, and now with the ability to heal and not die,
Right.
that makes him more dangerous. Where what I do like where they're going with the Bill Skarsgård one is the character is obviously not a fighter of any kind. He's big, but he does not know how to fight. So the fact that he only has to lean on the fact that he can't die and regenerate makes these fights more like vulgar, you know what I mean? Just more violent, more intense. It's going to be a darker, non-actiony feel to it, with the way he's shooting himself through the chest to get to the other guy, just coming up over and over again, while the guy's just bashing his head in over and over again. It just has more of a violence to it that gives it more of a darker feel. And it feels like they're going right into the supernatural, like a cult with the villains and all that.
Yeah.
That's just kind of one angle I'm taking it from. Story-wise, it could be completely terrible. So we'll have to see, but what do you really feel there's no hope for it at all?
No. So the whole way that Brandon Lee's Eric Draven gets powers is the Crow imbues him of that fighting ability, which would also apply to Bill Skarsgård's Eric Draven. So for me, I feel like action in The Crow felt very street gang level stuff, which I felt was true to the comic, because you mentioned you haven't read the original, but in the original comic, Eric and Shelley are killed because Eric's car breaks down and they are robbed and killed on the side of the road.
Oh, so there wasn't a connection or...
Right. There's never a connection. Eric Draven and Shelley are supposed to be your average Joe and Jane. So for me, connecting it where Shelley had something to do with this cult and now there's a supernatural element, it loses its feel that this is the everyman. This could be you. This could be me. You know, and I think that that's one of the beautiful parts of The Crow is that if you had this love, if you were a normal guy, would you be driven by that love to do this?
And that makes sense because like even in the original version that we all like and love, they did still change that storyline. She had to do with them fighting eviction, and there was like
even
a
then,
whole,
she had no real affiliation with them. They just happened to live in the wrong apartment.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Look, this is the biggest problem of this movie that it can't escape. It has to be connected to the original Crow that we all know, and then it has to distance itself. The problem is that no matter what it does, it's fighting an uphill battle. And just by default, a lot of people who love the original movie, they just love the original idea because of Brandon Lee's last movie. That was like why the biggest thing, the iconic behind it. It's just this movie is going to always be looked at as tried to art because it wants to get that same type of people, same type of vibe that movie did, but also capturing the same audience that loves that story, whether they watch the movie and read the comics or not, like that. I just think like at the end of the day, this movie just didn't need to be made. I feel like they're going to lose money, and it's not going to go anywhere. We're not going to get any of the sequels because nobody liked those.
Yeah.
Nobody liked those stories. So I feel like this is a losing battle, no matter what they do.
I think if they had made it anybody other than Eric, it would have been fun.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, he looks just like Michael Corby in Wild Justice, which was a different Crow comic.
Okay.
That is basically that exact design. Had they told me this is Michael Corby's story, or this could be anybody, because there have been...
So it's like Ghost Rider, a lot of incarnations.
People. Had they made it somebody else, it wouldn't have bothered me. Had they made it Eric in the comics, who is on drugs, incredibly violent, way more sadistic, he's not the gentle Eric that Brandon Lee gave us, that would have been fine. But I chose to make it Eric Draven, and that is why this movie...
And it's always going to be connected to
Probably best bet would have actually been a marriage of the two. Probably best bet would have been told the comic book version of the story,
And that's
but
what I thought they
still
would do.
make it a different character. Change the name and everything just to separate from the
It
original
would have
film.
given fans a reason to go and check it out with all this baggage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, and it's not a sequel thing. It's not a spin-off. So I'm still gonna give it a try.
It's a reboot.
I think I'm hoping, and this will get me to the next subject in a second, that it will at least have those 2 or 3 or 4 scenes that made it worth my time.
For fighting, maybe that's probably the best bet. But
That's
still
what I'm meaning.
I still think everything, even with that, is still going to drag it down. I just don't think this movie wins at the box office. I don't think it wins critics because everybody's.
Well, I know it's already got delayed, right? Already a couple
it's been
times,
delayed.
and there's a lot of rumors on that. So we'll see. There's no changing opinions till we see it, but it looks like you guys are definitely out.
I'm going to see it.
I'm hoping there's
I'm gonna watch
a
it.
minuscule chance. I was much further out when it was originally going to be Jason Momoa. I was like, no.
Yeah, that's weird just to think about that. I don't know who's talking with that.
Nah, but that was the original concept that they were
My man's going to be local. He's global.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only time
That's all we need.
So around SuperCon, and what I'm curious, as far as any opinions and that, how much, obviously that's what's blown you up very lately is your very strong but very supported and mutual opinion of the series The Acolyte on Disney Plus. So far at the con, we're halfway through Saturday, the biggest day. How much interaction you getting based on that?
Oh my God, I feel like every person who comes up to the table is like, I've seen your reviews on The Acolyte. So far, nobody's come up and like, I've seen your reviews on The Acolyte, go to hell. Like everybody for the most part has been supportive, which is fascinating because on my channel, that's an echo chamber. Like if you follow me, it's because you agree with me. And you go out in public and you realize like, this is universally a mistake. This is a mistake. So that's been a little...
Fortunately, have you swung by it? I think it's Verizon. Someone has an Acolyte backdrop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they probably went, okay, so we got to swing by there on the way back to your booth. Apparently, they went all in not knowing yet, they were pre-planned for SuperCon before the show came out.
Knowing what was
So all of you are like, oh, is this a thing? Like, they already know. I'm like, this is either going to be A, empty, or people are going to stop to like shoot the bird at pictures with it. Like, it's not going to be fun photographs with this backdrop. But they do have an Acolyte backdrop. I wasn't sure if you had seen that yet. I swung by there. But yeah, that's what's amazing about it. And I got to have conversations with Jake about this, and we talked a little bit about the Miramar Comic Expo. But the thing is that's what's amazing. But I will tell you one thing I am enjoying about it. I think it's kind of what's universally known is like I've never enjoyed hate watching something so much. Like usually when I hate watch, I'm done. I won't keep watching.
Yeah.
But it's like so bad and humorously bad, and not good bad like a Nacho Libre or like a bad
it's
kung
just
fu
bad.
movie.
It's just bad.
It's just bad, but it's like so amazing to watch how everyone hates on it because it's
I
bad.
think everybody understands is on the same consensus that this whole series, everything about it is not great. The only ones that don't seem to realize that is Lucasfilm. They're the only ones that are still going full steam ahead with it. The problem is that there's a lot of stuff that people are criticizing this show about that actually matter, that Lucasfilm tries to feel like it does. Like obviously the canon stuff of County Mundi, the canon stuff obviously with the High Republic, the High Republic, does even themselves in a lot of the interviews, they said that either it was 100 years prior to the Phantom Menace, 80 years prior to the Phantom Menace, like there's no consistency. There's no consistency.
They're not getting new audiences, and that's what's funny about this. Like, these shows are like, oh, because we're trying to expand the base, right? That's not happening. The only people watching the Star Wars shows are Star Wars fans.
And all they're doing is pissing us off.
It's like, it is.
And
It's
they're only
unfair
watching
direct
to see
attack.
what the videos that go up on YouTube are
Right.
saying about it later. Like that's the only reason why they care about it, to see like, oh, I want to see what this scene. I want to see who's going to.
It would actually shock me, and I was talking about because he was saying because you recently were on Star Wars Theory,
Yes.
and he was talking about he does like a watch party. I'm like, we should do a watch party. The watch party. It's asking to be entertaining,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize that the next episode was already the last
Yeah,
episode
season finale.
because the last one was so bad. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
over
It's
soon.
getting
How are
worse
they going to
and
wrap
worse.
this up? Yeah.
They're not going to wrap it.
It's amazing getting worse as it goes. Because like even Obi-Wan, and this is where I was talking about the 1 or 2 or 3 moments. I can't think of any other show, because even Boba Fett had the Mandalorian episode.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
Obi-Wan had the rematch with Vader.
Yeah.
Even the Rey fight with Vader was very well done. They had the opportunity in this show to have at least that lightsaber scene. And that's why when you put it, I went no, and when I messaged you, and you
The one that
went
they were
into
pointing
it.
to was the one obviously when Amir.
No, Darth Zipperface, as she calls it.
Whatever his
Darth
name is.
Sleeveless,
That he
Kylo
that he
Ren,
kills those
Pick
people. That's the one that everybody calls. And even then, I don't think that's great of a scene. I mean, it's
Nope.
shocking.
Right.
It's shocking, but it's not on the same level of like other lightsaber fights we've
It was
seen in
terrible.
other shows.
They darked it out like they did in the Game of Thrones episode that pissed everyone off to like not have to. $180 million, nobody knows where it went. The CGI has been terrible. The lightsaber coordination, and that's really the trick here to save almost any Star Wars show, is if you're going to have Jedi and lightsabers, if you get the same people who choreographed and coordinated the prequel lightsaber fight scenes. I'm not a big fan of the prequel story-wise, but I cannot deny that nothing's been able to match those lightsaber fight
Thanks.
scenes. And that still continues with Acolyte. Nothing redeeming about this show whatsoever. It's so hard, but it's just amazing to see how, the hate for the hate.
Well, it's beautiful because it really has united us.
I agree.
Like I have made so many new friends, met so many people. I have had people all weekend coming and thanking me for reviewing this show. I've never seen so many people grateful to be vindicated in their opinions by me. And to me, I'm grateful that anybody's watching, because it's like, I only watch this because it's part of my job.
Yeah.
And it's literally ruining my Wednesday every day because I see that in the morning and I'm like, oh, are we for real? And then I have to sit there and write the notes and edit it. And when you see those views come in and people, oh my God, we're making the jokes and we're coming together and we're getting on podcasts and going live and all that stuff, you really feel like we've built a family around the hatred.
As I say, I've never enjoyed hate
It's
watching
beautiful.
something so
Now,
much.
here's the big
because it feels like we're all rooting for the same
Here's
team.
the biggest question.
I don't know
The
what we're
season
rooting for.
finale coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, this is the last episode. After this, it's over. How bad do you think it's going to be the reaction to the season finale? Because I think they're gonna try to wrap all this up, and I don't think they're gonna do it. Or whatever they're gonna do is gonna feel rushed. I feel like they're gonna do something to connect or do whatever that's gonna make people wild.
Or worse, ends with a crazy cliffhanger because they went all in on
Right, 'cause
this.
they said they wanted
thinking
season two,
thinking they were going to get a season
And they
2.
want to lead us into like Darth Plagueis or
Oh, hell no.
Palpatine or
No,
something.
they do that, I'm
And
walking
I was
away.
like, what
It's
are
over.
we doing? This has to stop.
They already did it with Cortosis, and they're messing around with the planet stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
They-
many little things, and this episode did it again because they did more of the backstory,
Right.
looking into the past of
Yeah.
the different angles happen. Like it's amazing that you cast. It's so many. Forget about Star Wars. Just the actual production mistakes they continue to make. One big one: you get the same actors to play 2 parts, which means they're supposed to be identical twins.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you get 2 twins that are obviously fraternal twins that don't look that much alike to be the children version of,
Yeah.
of these characters.
And the actress is not doing a good job of being 2 different people.
No,
Yeah,
which is the problem.
she's not, and I don't even think it's fully her fault. It's the material. The material's garbage.
Well,
the material's
a lot of times it's direction as well. You have
True,
bad
that's
directing,
another
but
part, yeah.
Lucas has a lot of hiccups with scenes of great actors.
Well, that's
because
why the prequels are as rough as
Exactly.
they are in certain spots. I mean, you had Natalie Portman, who's incredibly talented.
You're
Hayden
breaking my
Christensen.
heart. Yeah.
Yeah, and the direction was just, there are some people who just can't act, but they're not one of them.
I was kind of on the bandwagon for a while. The Hayden Christensen, not the best. So I saw him do the version from the Clone Wars for Ahsoka, and I was like, "This
That was really
he's Anakin. This is Anakin." He's and the commitment to the lightsaber fight scenes. And I don't understand. Just go all in on that stuff.
That's how I feel about Lee Jung Jae. Like Lee Jung Jae is great in Squid Game.
Yes.
He does great stuff.
Even
He is.
But in this,
he is the
he's doing
redeeming
it.
part.
Yeah.
You know, he really is.
He's at least something that everybody can point to and be like, well, I like seeing him, but his part is stark. It's like it's just the way it is.
What I'm waiting for, and I think he might be kind of staying away from, is that you guys ever see pitch meeting?
Yes,
The guy does like the pitches. He hasn't done this yet. I'm like, I don't know what he's holding out for. And not just that, because everything he's gonna say has been said. Everyone's picking this show so much apart. It's gonna be hard for him to do something that no one else is saying.
Yeah,
You know,
I
that's
mean,
really
even
what
at
it
one
is.
point in one of my videos, I had called it the Three Stooges. And then when I went back in the middle of editing and I went to look at Critical Drinker's video, he had already called it the Three Stooges. And I was like, oh my God, we all have the same jokes.
All the same thing.
Like I had to cut it out. It's insane.
Why did they age this guy so much?
Oh, and,
It's supposed to be what, 15 years? Tobin
No,
from
about 16
Game of
years.
Thrones.
Yeah.
Why did he go from 17 Padawan to 60 something years old? I don't get that.
Also,
they made
how
him
did he
bald
become a master?
Why did
Jedi?
he kill himself?
in such a short time.
Why did he
Then why did he kill
Yeah.
himself? Over that he killed himself.
I want to go home. Also, I'm going to kill myself now. Because I feel
Real.
bad. Like, what is happening?
There was leaps and logics in this.
It's
like
so
storytelling, which is so bad that's like I don't know how these switched up fast.
It's
I don't-
amazing.
I don't
It's
know either.
crazy.
Well, I'm going to end with something special. I don't know if you got to sign any of the other posters, but I want to do something fun. This is the only Acolyte poster. So I got to see Bad Boys 4 when you guys were watching at the same theater, the first 2 episodes of the Acolyte. And when I got out of Bad Boys 4, I saw a stack of these posters. And I'm like, I wonder why there's a stack.
that was untouched.
How did no one touch these posters? And I grabbed a stack of them. And then I found out after watching it home the very next day
Why there was
why there was
They
a
were
stack
there.
left. So I want Smart J to sign this dog shit
I'll do that.
with quotation marks.
Let's do that.
And then, I brought a black Sharpie instead of silver. You know what?
I
It
can
doesn't
do it
matter.
on the
Yeah,
orange.
do it like
Made
on the
a
side.
oh my God.
Actually, do it like this way.
But yeah, this show is rough. The show is garbage. The show is I want to like
Absolute
it.
dog shit. I love it.
There you go. As if it couldn't be spelled out anymore. It's crazy. And I'll tell you right now, one of the things we didn't mention with this show, I don't like the conversation around it by those that are
Beautiful.
like as far
Thank
as
you so much.
the people that
Yeah,
make the
it's
show.
just direct attack.
It's
And that's what I think Jay's goading them. I know because they've kind of gone extremely after Star Wars theory. And because you don't fit the demo of what they're trying to label the haters are.
Right. Well, they don't
they're-
listen to me. I mean, you look
Oh, no, they listen to you.
You look at me
By
and-
now, they've
You
listened
look
to
at
you.
myself and Tyrone Magnus, and we're the furthest thing
His
from
reaction-
old conservative white men, and they're just like, "Oh no, you don't exist because we can't," you know. And I'm like, "No, I'm here.
It's
I'm
such a
Hispanic.
go.
I'm a woman. I check the boxes. This is bad. Get it off."
Are you going to do some kind of watch party next week?
I like watching solitude.
Because how do you do the watch party? Does it have it on Disney Plus where you could time it and it's or just everyone just kind of like on
could.
Instagram just say the
I
same
know
time?
some people just wing it.
Probably could,
They kind of just wing it, where they just have it like not be on the screen.
I mean, I wouldn't want you to compete with Star Wars too because you were just on his show and
Yeah,
everything.
I watch
but-
it Wednesday mornings, so I'd rather just.
Oh, so you don't go to night bad. You just start your your middle of the
I
week
start my
shitty.
morning shitty. I'm
We
not
go
gonna go to
crazy.
bed angry.
So your hump day shit day for one more week.
Say you can't go to bed angry, and that's
Good point.
So mucho cafecito para miércoles por la
Ya tú
mañana.
sabes.
So thank you everyone who joined us live. I can't see any of your chats or questions, but I'll look over them and edit them in something. I want to thank, of course, Jake James Lugo for joining us always with everything we do at Flynn's Arcade and more, and Fanatically Correct. Check out Jake James' stuff as well. He reviews all kinds of things, video games especially.
Games, movies,
Yeah.
pop culture, everything Star Wars.
Twitter, all that stuff. And of course, you already know her. That's why you tuned in. Snarky J. Check out her stuff. Next week's the last episode, so I'm looking more forward to your
It's a wrap.
review than the episode.
Trust me, I'm
And the
looking
worse
forward to
the
making
episode is, like I'm actually rooting for it to be so bad so I can hear the stuff you're
Yeah,
going to say.
I'm ready. I'm like amped up. I'm amped up
It,
already.
it might be an extra 24
Get the
hours for you to
popcorn
release that review because you're going to need extra time to
Maybe.
micronize it. So thank you much for joining. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
And
you
this
for
is
having
fantastic.
me.
If you're coming to SuperCon or you haven't gone by our table yet, she's over tabled on not Celebrity Row. Which row is that? It's
Cosplay Row. There's
Cosplay Row. A lot of great cosplayers out there. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I'm going to go end all this.
And There you have it, folks. This has been Fanatically Correct. Until next time, you crazy kids. Signing off.